What up, my fellow Knicks fans? This is your guy Marcellus Ease, and don't panic quite yet. Now, the Knicks finally started to show some character as they were down 13 points midway through the third quarter, and we seen a perfect combination of the offense and defense coming together, almost in a perfect synergy to wheel them right back into this matchup. Brunson was getting a lot of different looks, and that is expected from the Wizard, Eric Spoelstra. Towns inserted himself as a second option, while Mikal Bridges got into a groove himself. And this is the first matchup we could actually see how it looks like when the Knicks take advantage of small lineups. But hey, I'm not going to say no more. Let's just get to it.
You know, all we want is what they have and what they are. That's what championship teams are about. They got to take on all comers.
I'll go right.
So very early in this matchup, it was apparent that the Miami Heat were kind of overly focused on Jalen Brunson, basically cutting the head off the snake in the Knicks offense, and they took the gamble on the Knicks secondary scorers to make something happen. The Heat play a lot smaller with Bam Adebayo basically serving as a center at 6'8", and their power forward Nikolai right here standing at 6'10". He is the power forward in this situation. So you see where the breathing room is for Towns to eat in this game. And there's going to be plenty of barbecue chicken to go around. So right here, we're seeing an over focus on Brunson. Notice how Thomas Bryant drop back coverage. He's right on him. And look at the Heat's defense collapsing on Brunson. Everyone's focus is on Brunson. You know, in this matchup, they were comfortable leaving the weak side shooter wide open to just kind of clog up the lane right here, as you can see. But again, with Thomas Bryant out there being only 6'10", barbecue chicken for Towns. Again, the Heat are playing extra small. As you can see here, Thomas Bryant, 6'10". He hedges on the pick and roll between Brunson and Towns. And now it's time for Towns to go to work. I mean, look at the Heat right here. They used to get away with this with the Knicks. Just overloading on Brunson and also playing small. Again, weak side shooter. They're comfortable and kind of leaving him open. But it's time for Towns to go to work right here. This game, in a way, is Towns' first game where he really stepped up as the guy who has the better matchup and who could take advantage and be that primary scorer. This type of assertiveness, we actually couldn't wait to see this from Towns. And at times, it gets questioned whether he has it or not. Now, Towns right here in transition. I like the idea. Once again, the Miami Heat playing small, punish them for playing that way. We used to never have a big man who can actually go downhill himself and just be that face-up scorer. And Towns is definitely asserting himself. He doesn't draw the foul, but I like the idea. Brunson and Towns pick and roll right here. Look at the coverage. Bam hedges. Just look at everyone overly focused. They're going to leave the weak side shooter open. Look at Tyler stunting in. Everyone's crowding up Brunson's attacking lanes right here. They're trying to cut off the head of the snake, but we're going to make them pay. Towns attacks the closeout. You see? Towns is just like Joel Embiid. Good face-up game, and they can go straight downhill. Now, Nikolai, he's going to be compromised because he's not a rim protector. Make Miami pay for playing with all those small players. This is something the Knicks didn't have the ability to utilize before. Bam would normally be just as physical on Julius Randle. They're almost the same size. But Towns, he's much bigger than Bam. Much bigger. And Bam only stands at 6'8". Now, alongside the bench unit, we're going to get some pick and roll action between Bridges and Towns. And look at the way they're guarding Bridges. See, they're collapsing on him. They're forcing the other Knicks players to make something happen. Look at Towns right here. And Bam is the low man right here, standing at 6'8" again. We're going to make him pay for playing small. See, on this closeout, Jimmy Butler, he can't handle Towns going downhill. Too small. And then look who's the rim protector. You got Bam standing at 6'8". See, now we can make him pay for playing like that. Before, that wasn't the case. So even though Bam Adebayo is one of the stronger power forwards in the league, Towns' mass and just his size is going to be an issue to deal with for Bam. And also, The fact that he has a nice face-up game and nice touch around the rim, hook shots like this is going to be an issue for Bam. Once again, 6'8", trying to get there. We've seen the size and strength be an issue in the fourth quarter for the Miami Heat, just playing too small. And Towns is putting in work. Miami playing small really hurt them at the end of this game. Look at Towns actually hold down Jimmy Butler right here. It's just, the Heat are playing way too small. 6'8", 6'10". The tallest defender right here, but Nikolai is not really a rim protector. He's not known for rebounding. He's a shooter, actually. And Towns just takes full advantage. And one. Let him know, Cat. So we got our first look at Karl Anthony Towns being the primary offensive scorer for the Knicks. And that's due to the fact that the Heat were overly focused on Jalen Brunson with their defensive schematics, which presented that opportunity for Towns. But the Cleveland Cavaliers actually applied the same type of formula. The only difference is that they had the versatile bigs to actually make up in case defenders had to recover. The Miami Heat play a lot smaller, and Jalen Brunson, as we're going to take a look at right here, had to definitely change his approach as off this pick and roll. Look how the Heat defense just collapsed. And this will be a reoccurring theme as the weak side shooter coming off this pick. The Heat kind of just completely sags off him. But just within this collapse, the Knicks are making great adjustments. Look at Towns with the great passing, great spacing. Unlike in the past playoff series against the Miami Heat back in 2023, where they just collapsed on Brunson and was only Josh Hart, RJ Barrett, and Julius Randle on one leg trying to make things happen. So Brunson was missing the outside shooters, as well as Julius Randle not having the right matchup on one leg, going up against one of the best defending forwards in the league outside of Anthony Davis. And again, this is one of the earliest possessions in the game, just coming off this pick and roll. Look at Jimmy Butler. The Heat just leaving this wide open once again, and just everyone's focus is right on Brunson. So a game like this is going to call for Towns on the pop out and OG in the corner, or if this was Mikal in the same weak side corner, to start knocking down their shots. Again, very early on, multiple screens thrown at the Heat players. Check out some of the players not on Brunson. Their focus. Look at Nikolai right here. See, they're clogging up his attacking lanes already. Towns threw a ghost screen. He just popped out. And now the Knicks are going to rescreen again. But you see, look at Nikolai this time. He's going to hedge. They want someone else to make plays outside of Brunson. They want the ball out his hands. We're going to see one of the earlier adjustments. Towns given a screen directly behind the defender. This is reminiscent of Hartenstein in the playoff series against the 76ers. Here you're seeing Hartenstein set the screen directly behind Oubre. And the reasoning is that once he comes off that pick and the screen is set so high that now he's going to have more space to operate in. Just kind of create that spacing and force those defenders who are collapsing on Brunson, just like how the Heat are doing, to kind of collapse. But when they do, their recovery is twice as much to get back and to recover on other defenders. And Brunson has way more room to operate because in this series, Kelly Oubre and Kyle Lowry, in a combination of Nick Batum and Tobias Harris, they always formed a triangle around Brunson. The defender right here trying to recover, Kyle Lowry getting in one of his attacking lanes, followed by Tobias Harris or Nick Batum. So this way, them setting the screen directly behind the defender, he's completely caught. And it also gives the screener, Hartenstein, or this season, Karl Anthony Towns, the ability to tag him left or right, depending on where the advantage is at. So going back to the screen by Towns, as you can see, they're trying to go for the same thing. Towns setting a screen so high up, he can also pop out now. Now we have a three-point threat. And also the defenders, Brunson could attack Bam going downhill. We're going to see the options kind of open up. Towns now can pop out. The Knicks didn't have this option before, being that three-point threat. Again, right here, Brunson on the attack. We're going to see a very similar thing play out. OG in the weak side corner. Nikolai kind of helps, but he doesn't fully commit, but he does leave OG wide open again. So coming down this time, Thomas Bryant hedges on Brunson. As you pay attention to Tyler, completely sag off of Bridges on the corner weak side. The Heat later on once again hedge with Thomas Bryant, but this time around they're going to pay for it because due to the lack of their size, Towns is going to attack him and draws the foul. There's some more counters. Brunson off the pick and roll. Thomas Bryant tries to hedge again. Josh Hart is a little bit late. He tries to set that second screen, but it's a little bit of a deterrent. But you're going to see the Heat's focus. Look at Jimmy Butler. Again, stunting in on that weak side corner shooter coming off that pick originally. But make him pay this time with the alley connection. Eric Spoelstra is really testing this new Knicks lineup and their chemistry early on. He doesn't want necessarily Brunson to be the head of the snake in the offense and being able to get to his spots. So with Jericho Sims being in the lineup right here, Towns in foul trouble, things get quite interesting with this pick and roll right here. Miles is going to set an additional pick on Bam. So it's a screen for a screener. And also Sims is not necessarily a threat on this roll. So we're going to see how things kind of play out. You see Miles sets the screen right here. And now he's going to become a threat because of that screen. But check out Tyler Hero. He's going to jump and hedge on Brunson right here. See, leaves a 2v1 right here. So Sims is not really perceived as a threat. Nikolai rotates, leaving the weak side shooter, because that was always Miami's plan from the jump. And you're seeing the over neutralizing of Jalen Brunson right here. They really want to force him to put the ball in other guys' hands to make plays. That's a good pop out by Deuce too, man. Yo, Deuce McBride is really stepping up. Like, he's really he's going to present a lot of issues for the rest of the league when they're looking at the Knicks scouting report, because they're hoping to exploit the Knicks' weaker shooters. And originally he was on that list, but the way he's performing this season, he's just showing that the Knicks' development is on a whole nother level. You see Mitchell Robinson. You see the way Ariel Hawkporty is playing. Who knows what Paco Dadier could end up being in a few years. Same thing for Tyler Kolek. The Knicks have really proven that they can build guys from the ground up. A lot of the big markets throughout the league don't really get credit for this, but the Knicks are really proving the naysayers wrong. But even though the Heat are doing their best rendition to neutralize Jalen Brunson, the Knicks just have way too much options nowadays. And you have Towns, he could pop out. And he's bigger, just operating with this small lineup of defenders. But right here, you see this pick and roll. Look at Tyler Hero. Right away, they really expected Brunson to kill him, completely leaving the weak side shooter and Bridges open. Like, we never thought we would see this, but look at the paint around Brunson right here. But eventually, it's a matter of time before we start making them pay for their over pursuit of Brunson. And down 13 with 8 minutes left in that second half, this was the first time that we've seen this Knicks team come back and fight through some adversity, having both their offense and defense come together almost in a perfect synergy to lead themselves to this comeback. A lot of the defensive tenacity showed a bit of characteristics that we can see from this team that's going to begin to formulate as the season progresses. It served as a nice sneak peek into what to expect. So within this second half comeback, one thing that really kind of gets overlooked I want to start off with is Josh Hart. Shout out to him. Just him being a threat with the ball going downhill, always putting pressure on defenses to protect the rim. He kind of got this offense going a bit. Like this play right here, as soon as his penetration happens, look at the ball movement. Look at the open shots, the opportunities. Guys got going. This is exactly what was missing at the end of that Cleveland game. Just Josh Hart leaving it with that injury. We didn't have anyone else putting ball pressure on defenses to protect the rim. Josh Hart is consistently a threat without the ball or even on ball when he's doing these fake dribble handoffs. He initiates easy offense. Really underrated. And we got to give him his flowers for that. Even Candy too. Pause. Whoa. Josh Hart this time rolling with the bench unit. And you know, sometimes the offense kind of gets stagnant with McBride, Cameron Payne in there. These guys are not necessarily fully penetrators. And sometimes, you know, of course, Bridges and Towns still getting the chemistry right. But we need someone to penetrate. And the way he attacks his closeout here and just put pressure on guys to protect the rim just adds some extra seasoning, some extra sazon to this offense. Get shit flowing. Look at that. Let's go. This is why this game was a perfect combination between what everyone was doing real well. Josh Hart is going to break this defense down, and you're going to see everything kind of come together. Look at Towns, that aggressiveness that he had all game. After Hart breaks down this defense, guys making clutch shots, Brunson adjusting his game, making smarter decisions with the passing. You're just seeing everything come together. And that right there, once again, is an easy offense started by Josh Hart. Knicks marching their way to their comeback. Brunson making his adjustments off this pick. Of course, Miami's defense clogging up his attacking lanes. And it's up to other guys, man. Towns got to step up. Look at this fake pass to Bridges. And Bridges is open in the corner, too. Bridges could have got something nice off, but Towns is taking advantage of his open looks. This is something brand new the boys in South Beach got to deal with. And wait till Mitch come back. We got something else for you. Once the offensive synergy starts going, everything else just starts clicking. As Mikal Bridges gets a nice block on Jaime Jaquez. This is the first time we're seeing this. Everything just coming together. Look at that defense. Jaime nowhere to go. Brunson seeing crazy looks all night. Bam hedges. I mean, just look at the whole defense. Just completely taking things away from Brunson. Attacking lanes. Weak side corner shooter. Wide open again. And look at Sims. Great find by Brunson. Going down the stretch of this game. Another pick right here. Look at Jimmy. Stunts in. Corner shooter wide open. And McBride had a good game. He was 2 of 5 from 3. So they're really betting on the Knicks role players to make something happen right here. They really want the ball out of Brunson's hands. Continuing going down the fourth. Look at the defenders right here. Sagged off the strong side shooter. Everyone's just waiting on Brunson, just trying to clog up his lanes. Brunson goes in and out the screen, and guys are making shots. More defense from Mikal right here. You're seeing everything kind of come together all at once in the second half. And plays like this is what really kills the Miami Heat right here. Decisions that are made out of the high post. The Knicks have a center who is a lot bigger than Bam, who could take them straight up, face up, go directly to the basket, or just, put on a couple moves and just pull up and score. But his decision making out of this high post area right here is what really is going to kill the Miami Heat, also being surrounded by shooters. But Towns right here with 7 seconds left, he could have took the shot. But right here, you're going to see a combination of everything kind of coming together. Brunson with the nasty moves right here. Ooh, nasty. Them boys are on their way. And finally, we're going to see, just to end this game, a combination of numerous things. Brunson making smart decisions, as right here, Jimmy Butler is going to begin to stunt in, and then he's going to blitz. As soon as he blitzes, the other combination will be the decision Josh Hart makes. So him being able to break down that defense, try to find the open shooters. There's a weak side corner shooter and Bridges open. And then the last piece of this is going to be the aggressiveness of Karl Anthony Towns taking advantage of this smaller defense. Bam at 6'8" is the guy to protect the rim and grab these rebounds. Nikolai right here, power forward, he's really a shooter. So he's not really a rim protector and a guy to grab you boards, but Towns takes full advantage and won and basically seals the game. So this matchup served as a nice little litmus test to see how guys responded to some adversity on the road against a well-coached team. Jalen Brunson, Mikal Bridges struggled in that first half, and they made their adjustments and they played real well in the second. The team overall was down 13 points midway through the third, and they end up fighting back. The defensive and offensive synergy clicked. Karl Anthony Towns, being the primary scorer, took full advantage of the Miami Heat being a smaller team. But hey, we still got a long way to go. Until next time, you fellas stay safe. Peace.